punchline! This is unacceptable! How could you betray us like this? I didn't know it'd come to this!
She got everything. Everything! Nathan Rothwell's voice cracks with disbelief as he paces the marble conference room, designer shoes clicking against imported Italian tile. My mother left my own wife $4.2 billion and gave me, her actual son, nothing. He turns to his siblings, hands spread wide. Tell me that's not insane. Tell me Mom wasn't manipulated. His brother shifts uncomfortably. His sister won't meet his eyes. Aria sits perfectly still at the far end of the mahogany table, cream envelope in her lap. The envelope Diana Rothwell herself sealed, the one with her handwriting across the front. For Aria, the truth you deserve. Mrs. Rothwell, the attorney says gently, your mother-in-law was very specific. You must read that letter alone, now, before any decisions about the estate. Nathan's face reddens. Family business stays in the family. Whatever's in that letter, I have a right. Touch this letter, Aria says quietly, her voice cutting through his bluster like ice, and I'll have security remove you. The room goes silent. Nathan stares at his wife, the woman who hasn't contradicted him in 5 years, who apologizes when he's angry, who carries guilt in every movement, and sees something new in her eyes. Not until you become a man, the attorney reads from the will. That's what Mrs. Diana Rothwell stipulated regarding her son. Nathan laughs, but it sounds hollow. Become a man? I'm her son, her flesh and blood. This is... Aria stands, envelope clutched in trembling hands. She looks at Nathan, really looks at him, and something shifts in her face. Have you ever discovered that your entire life was built on a lie? That the person you trusted most had been destroying you from the inside, piece by piece, for years? What Aria read in that letter didn't just change her life. It revealed that the tragedy she'd blamed herself for, the one that had been slowly killing her for 5 years, was actually murder. And her husband had watched her suffer for it. The attorney's private office smells like leather and old money. Aria's fingers shake as she breaks the wax seal, Diana's personal insignia pressed into deep burgundy. The paper inside is heavy, expensive. Diana's handwriting is precise, unflinching. Aria, by the time you read this, I'll be gone. I won't have to see your face when you learn what I'm about to tell you. That's cowardice on my part, but I'm dead, so judge me if you want. 5 years ago, Emma didn't die because of you. She died because of Nathan. The words blur. Aria blinks, reads them again. Her lungs forget how to work. That day, Nathan was supposed to watch her. You trusted him. You had every right to trust him. But he received a text from his mistress, a woman named Simone Laurent. She was threatening to expose their affair. Nathan made a choice. He put Emma in her car seat, drove to meet Simone at the Grandmont Hotel, and left our granddaughter in that car for 1 hour and 17 minutes while he was inside with his whore. When he came back, Emma was unresponsive. He didn't call 911. He called me. Aria's hand covers her mouth. The sound that comes out isn't quite human. I protected him. God help me. I protected my son from prison. I brought my lawyers, my fixers, my people. We moved Emma's body. We created a different timeline. We paid off Simone. We erased security footage. We made it look like Emma died at home, like it was a tragic accident that could have happened to anyone. And then I watched, for 5 years, as Nathan let you believe it was your fault. The letter trembles in Aria's grip. 5 years. Every therapy session where she'd sobbed about leaving Emma that day. Every time Nathan had gone silent when she cried, letting her words hang in the air. If I'd just stayed home. Every family dinner where she'd apologized for taking up space, for still being sad, for not moving on fast enough. He'd watched. I have documented everything, Aria. The security footage I preserved before destroying the hotel's copies, Simone's signed statement, the medical examiner's original report, phone records, everything. My attorney will give you access to all of it. I'm giving you my empire not because I'm generous, but because you deserve justice, and Nathan deserves nothing. I covered up my son's crime to save him from prison, but I will not reward him for killing his own child and then torturing you with guilt that should have been his. You were a good mother. You made a responsible choice to go to work. Emma died because Nathan is a selfish, reckless coward who values his own pleasure over his daughter's life. I should have told you years ago. I should have protected you instead of him. I'm sorry. Use what I've given you however you see fit. Nathan will never become a man, because real men protect their children and face their failures. He did neither. Diana. Aria sits in the silence. The letter falls to the mahogany desk. 5 years of crushing, suffocating guilt lifts off her chest, but something heavier replaces it. Rage. Pure, clarifying rage. Emma screaming in that car, overheating, terrified, dying alone while Nathan was inside a hotel room with another woman. And then he came home, held Aria while she sobbed, let her say, "I should have been there," without correcting her. For 5 years. Aria stands. Her reflection in the office window shows someone she doesn't recognize. Eyes hollow, face pale, but something sharp and dangerous lurking beneath. She unlocks the door, walks back down the corridor. Each step feels surreal, like she's watching herself from somewhere far away. The conference room goes quiet when she enters. Nathan looks up, and for a split second she sees something flicker across his face. Fear? Guilt? It vanishes almost immediately, replaced by his usual charming concern. "Aria, sweetheart, are you okay? You look—" She looks at him, really looks, at the man she shared a bed with for 7 years. The man who killed their daughter and let her drown in false guilt while he slept peacefully beside her. She's been sleeping next to a monster, and he has no idea she finally knows.
5 years earlier. Aria's reflection stares back from the bathroom mirror. Professional, polished, terrified. The promotion to senior vice president. 3 years of 80-hour weeks, of proving herself in rooms full of men who looked past her. Today's presentation could change everything. Emma's laugh echoes from the nursery. 10 months old, all chunky thighs and gummy smiles. Aria's chest tightens with the familiar pull, the impossible equation every working mother knows by heart. Her phone buzzes. Margaret, their babysitter. "Aria, I'm so sorry. I'm at the ER with my daughter, appendicitis. They're taking her into surgery. I can't make it today." The presentation is in 2 hours. The board will be there. The CEO. This chance won't come again. "Nathan?" She finds him in the kitchen, scrolling through his phone. "Margaret can't come. I need you to watch Emma." He doesn't look up. "Babe, I've got that lunch thing." "Nathan," her voice sharpens, "this is the promotion, the one I've been working toward for 3 years. He finally meets her eyes, sees something there that makes him pause. "Okay, yeah, of course, I've got this." That easy smile, the one that made her fall in love with him. "Go kill it. Emma and I will have a daddy-daughter day." Aria hesitates at the nursery door. Emma is in her playpen, stacking blocks with intense concentration. She looks up, sees her mother, and her whole face transforms into pure joy. "Mama!" Aria scoops her up, breathes in that perfect baby smell, milk and lavender soap. "Mommy has to go to work, sweet girl, but Daddy's going to take such good care of you." She kisses Emma's forehead, her cheeks, her tiny hands. "I love you so much, so much." Nathan appears in the doorway. "We're good, seriously, go." She hands Emma over, watches her daughter's face crumple slightly before Nathan bounces her, makes her giggle. Everything is fine. Nathan is her father. He loves her. Everything is fine. The presentation is flawless. Aria's voice doesn't shake. Her data is irrefutable. The CFO nods approvingly. The CEO asks sharp questions. She answers sharper. She can feel it, the shift in the room, the way they're finally seeing her as an equal. But she checks her phone 3 times during the Q&A. No messages. Everything's fine. Her phone rings at 2:47 p.m. Nathan's name. She steps into the hallway, still riding the high of nailing the presentation. "Hey, how's Aria?" His voice is wrong, screaming, breaking. Something's wrong with Emma. She won't wake up. The world tilts. "What? Nathan, what happened? Where are you?" "I don't know. We're at the house and she's not breathing right. I called 911. They're coming. Oh God, Aria, I don't know what happened." She's running, down the corridor, past confused colleagues, the CEO calling her name. She doesn't stop. The hospital is chaos. Fluorescent lights too bright, antiseptic smell burning her nostrils. A nurse tries to make her sit. She can't sit. Where's Emma? Where's her baby? Nathan is in the waiting room, head in his hands. When he looks up, his face is destroyed. "They're working on her. They won't tell me anything. Aria, I'm so sorry. I don't know what happened. She was fine, and then she was so hot, and I couldn't—" A doctor approaches, young, female, her expression carefully neutral in that way medical professionals learn. "Mrs. Rothwell? Is she okay? Can I see her? I need to—" "I'm very sorry." The doctor's voice is gentle, professional, final. "We did everything we could. Your daughter didn't respond to resuscitation efforts. I'm so sorry. She's gone." The hallway tilts. Someone is screaming, a terrible animal sound. It takes Aria several seconds to realize it's coming from her own throat. Nathan's arms around her, both of them collapsing. The doctor saying something about SIDS, about how these things happen, about nothing anyone could have done. Aria had left Emma to go to work, and now Emma was dead. The guilt wrapped around her throat like hands and began to squeeze. It would never stop squeezing.
Nathan stares at the text message, his stomach dropping. "We need to talk, now, or I'm calling Aria and telling her everything. I'm done being your secret. S." Emma babbles from her playpen, stacking her blocks. Nathan runs his hand through his hair. Simone has been getting more demanding, more emotional. 3 months of sneaking around, and now she's pulling this dramatic ultimatum bullshit. He types back, "Can't today. Have Emma." The response is immediate. "Then bring her. Park outside. 20 minutes. Grandmont Hotel. I'm not joking, Nathan. I'll call her right now." His phone buzzes. Incoming call from Simone. He silences it. Panic claws at his chest. If Aria finds out, she'll leave, take half of everything his mother built, destroy the life he's entitled to. Emma is dozing in her playpen now, exhausted from playing. It's warm out, but not that warm. 20 minutes. He'll crack the windows. She'll sleep through it. He buckles Emma into her car seat. She doesn't even wake up, just makes a little sighing sound and settles deeper into sleep. He kisses her forehead. "Daddy will be right back, sweetheart." The Grandmont parking lot is half empty. He parks in the shade, cracks all 4 windows a few inches. Emma is still asleep, peaceful. He'll be back before she wakes up.
Simone is in the lobby bar, mascara smudged, wine glass already half empty. You came. I didn't give you much choice. He slides into the booth across from her. Simone, we talked about this. My wife is more important than me. I know, I've heard it. But I love you, Nathan, and I think you love me too, but you're too scared to admit it. The conversation spirals. She's crying. People are staring. He's trying to calm her down without making a scene. He orders another glass of wine for her, a scotch for himself. His phone says 2:15, then 2:35. Simone is talking about moving away, starting over, how she can't keep doing this. I need to go. He stands abruptly. Emma's in the car. Simone's eyes widen. You left a baby in the car? She's fine. Windows are cracked. I'll call you later. He's running across the parking lot. The sun has shifted. His car is in direct light now. Even from 10 feet away, he can see the heat shimmer. The door opens to a wall of suffocating heat. Emma is slumped in her car seat, skin flushed deep red, lips slightly blue, not crying, not moving. Emma! Emma! He unbuckles her with shaking hands. Her body is limp, burning hot. No, no, baby. Wake up! Wake up! His phone is in his hand. 911. He should call 911. But they'll ask questions. They'll know he left her. They'll know about Simone. Aria will know. Everyone will know. He calls his mother instead. Nathan, I'm in a meeting. Mom, his voice cracks. I need help. I need help right now. It's Emma. Please, I'm at the Grandmont. Please. Diana arrives in 18 minutes with 2 men in dark suits. She takes one look at Emma in Nathan's arms, at his face, at the car, and her expression goes ice cold. Is she? Nathan can't finish the question. Diana checks Emma's pulse, her breathing. Her jaw tightens. Get her in my car, now. Everything happens fast. One of Diana's men drives Nathan's car away. The other makes phone calls, his voice low and efficient. Diana sits in the back of her town car with Emma's body, making her own calls. Marcus, I need you at my residence in 30 minutes, and bring Dr. Chen. Yes, that Dr. Chen. This is not negotiable. Pause. I'm aware of the ethical implications. Double his usual fee. Nathan sits in the passenger seat, staring at nothing. This isn't real. This can't be real. At Diana's estate, more people arrive. A doctor, a lawyer, 2 more men Nathan doesn't recognize. They move Emma inside. Someone gives Nathan a script, times, details, what he'll say when he calls 911 from home. Diana pulls him into her study, closes the door. Tell me exactly what happened. He does. The text, Simone, the parking lot. Her face doesn't change, but something deadly enters her eyes. The hotel has security cameras. I don't know. Probably. She makes another call. Tom, I need footage erased. Grandmont Hotel, exterior parking. Today, 1:30 to 3 p.m. I don't care what it costs. She listens. Triple it. One of Diana's suited men enters. The woman? Simone Laurent, Nathan whispers. She was in the lobby bar. Diana nods to the man. Find her. Get a signed statement about what happened. Make it very clear what happens if she ever speaks about this. Then wire her enough money to disappear. The lawyer approaches Nathan with papers. This is what you'll tell the police, what you'll tell your wife. Memorize it. Do not deviate. If you deviate, you go to prison. Nathan rehearses the lies. Emma was fine. She was napping. When he checked on her, she wasn't breathing. He called 911 immediately. He has no idea what happened. Maybe SIDS, maybe something congenital. The doctors will find something. They have to. Diana watches him practice, her face carved from stone. When he finishes, she speaks. You will never speak of what really happened. Not to Aria, not to your siblings, not in confession, not in therapy, not when you're drunk. Never. Nathan, I didn't mean.
You killed your daughter because you couldn't keep your dick in your pants for 20 minutes. Her voice could cut glass. You will live with that. You will watch your wife grieve, and you will never be worthy of a fraction of what I've built. She turns toward the door, then pauses. And Nathan, if you ever make me regret protecting you, I will personally destroy everything you've ever cared about. She walks out. Nathan is left alone with the script in his hands and his daughter's ghost in every corner of the room.
Year 1. I keep thinking about that moment. Aria's voice is barely audible in Dr. Morrison's office, tissue shredded in her lap. When I chose the presentation over staying home, if I'd just canceled, Aria, you made a reasonable choice. You couldn't have known. But I did know. Some part of me knew I should stay, and I ignored it. She's sobbing now, the kind of crying that empties you out. What kind of mother does that make me? At home, Nathan sits on the couch, beer in hand, watching her fall apart. You okay? He asks, not looking away from the television. I keep thinking if I'd been there. He's quiet for a long moment. Then, so softly she almost misses it. Yeah, me too. The words land like stones in her chest. Year 2. The VP position goes to someone else. They're very understanding about her absence, her situation. There will be other opportunities, they say, when she's ready. Aria deletes LinkedIn from her phone, stops answering emails from headhunters. Her friend Jessica calls about drinks. Aria cancels. Jessica tries again. Aria stops responding. At Thanksgiving dinner at Diana's estate, Nathan's sister asks how she's doing. I'm fine, Aria says automatically. I'm sorry, I know I should be better by now. I'm trying. You don't need to apologize, Diana says sharply from across the table. But Aria does apologize for being sad, for not eating enough, for not smiling enough, for taking up space in rooms where everyone else has moved on. Nathan accepts second helpings of sympathy. It's been hard on both of us, he tells his brother, but we're getting through it. Diana watches this exchange, her wine glass frozen halfway to her lips. Something dangerous flickers across her face. Year 4. Nathan runs into her former colleague at the grocery store. We miss you, Mark says. The team isn't the same. If you ever want to come back. I can't, Aria says, and realizes she means it. That person, the woman who commanded boardrooms, who fought for her seat at the table, is gone, dead, buried with Emma. At dinner that night, Nathan scrolls through his phone while Aria picks at her food. I saw someone from work today, she ventures. They mentioned coming back. He doesn't look up. You think you're ready for that? The implication hangs in the air. After what happened last time you prioritized work. No, she whispers. You're right, I'm not ready. Diana watches from the head of the table, watches Aria disappear bite by bite, and makes a phone call the next morning. I want to update my will, clear my afternoon. This is going to take time. Year 5. Nathan is out 4 nights a week now. Client dinners, he says. You know how it is. Aria doesn't ask anymore. She's become good at being small, at not asking questions, at apologizing for things that aren't her fault. If you'd been there, Nathan says one night after too much scotch, an argument about nothing turning mean, you ever think about that? She thinks about it every single day. It's the first thought when she wakes up and the last before sleep. It's the weight on her chest that never lifts. I know, she whispers. He goes to bed. She stays on the couch, silently crying so she won't disturb him. Diana's private investigator delivers his final report, affair number 7. This one is a paralegal, 24 years old. Diana reads the report, looks at the photographs of her son laughing in a restaurant while his wife is at home disintegrating under the weight of his guilt. She opens her laptop and writes the first line of a letter. Aria, by the time you read this, I'll be gone.
At her next family dinner, Diana watches Nathan touch Aria's shoulder, such a caring gesture, while simultaneously checking his phone under the table, a text from someone named Alex with a heart emoji. Aria flinches at his touch, then apologizes. "I'm sorry, I'm just tired." "You're always tired," Nathan says, pulling his hand away, a small barb wrapped in concern. Diana sets down her fork with careful precision. "Nathan, a word in my study." When they're alone, she pours herself a scotch and doesn't offer him one. "I'm removing you from the company board." "What? Mom, you can't." "I can do whatever I want. It's my company." She takes a slow sip. "You've become everything I taught you not to be. Weak, careless, cruel. You're favoring Aria. She's been poisoning you against me." Diana laughs, cold and sharp. "That woman worships you. She blames herself for your daughter's death while you fuck your way through Manhattan. She apologizes for breathing while you play the grieving father." She leans forward. "You disgust me." Nathan's face reddens. "You don't know what you're talking about." "I know everything, Nathan. I always have." She walks to the door, pauses with her hand on the frame. "You should start being nicer to your wife, because when I'm gone, she's going to have something you'll never have." "What's that?" "Power."
The attorney's name is Robert Chen, and he's been Diana's personal counsel for 23 years. His office is in a building Aria didn't know Diana owned, one of apparently 47 properties now under Aria's control. "Mrs. Rothwell asked me to prepare this presentation for you." Chen's voice is gentle but professional. He's in his 60s, wire-rimmed glasses, the kind of man who has kept powerful people's secrets and slept soundly anyway. "I warn you, some of this will be difficult to watch." Aria sits across from him, still numb from Diana's lever. "Show me everything." Chen opens a leather portfolio. Inside are tabs, organized with meticulous care. "We'll start with the day of Emma's death. This is security footage from the Grandmont Hotel, dated 5 years ago. Mrs. Rothwell had it preserved before the hotel's copies were erased." He turns a laptop toward her. Black and white footage, timestamp in the corner, 1:47 p.m. A parking lot. Nathan's Mercedes pulls into frame, parks in a spot that's currently shaded. Aria watches Nathan get out, lean into the back seat. She can see Emma's car seat, then close the door and walk toward the hotel entrance. The timestamp rolls forward, 2:03 p.m. The shadow has shifted. Direct sunlight hits the car. 2:24 p.m. Still no movement. 2:51 p.m. Nathan emerges from the hotel, not alone. A woman with dark hair, designer handbag. They're standing close, talking. She touches his arm. He pulls her into a hug that lasts too long. Then Nathan seems to remember something. He breaks away, sprints to the car. Aria watches him yank open the door, watches him pull Emma's limp body from the car seat, watches him collapse against the vehicle, phone to his ear. Not calling 911. She knows now. Calling Diana. "That's Simone Laurent," Chen says quietly. "She signed a statement the same day, which Mrs. Rothwell kept as insurance. Would you like to read it?" Aria nods, unable to speak. The statement is handwritten, shaky. "I, Simone Laurent, confirm that on date I met Nathan Rothwell at the Grandmont Hotel at approximately 1:50 p.m. Mr. Rothwell informed me his infant daughter was in his vehicle in the parking lot. We spoke for approximately 1 hour. When Mr. Rothwell returned to his vehicle, he discovered his daughter was unresponsive. I am providing this statement of my own free will." There's a second paragraph, typed, clearly added by lawyers. "I agree never to discuss these events publicly or privately. I acknowledge receipt of $500,000 as compensation for my cooperation and permanent relocation. Diana paid her $500,000 to disappear and to stay silent. Yes."
Chen opens another tab. These are the private investigator reports. Mrs. Rothwell hired him 3 years ago when she suspected Nathan's behavior hadn't changed. Page after page of surveillance photos. Nathan with different women, hotels, restaurants, one particularly damning series in what looks like someone's apartment. Timestamps, locations, names when identifiable. 7 different women over 3 years. And these, Chen pulls out another folder, are phone records. You'll notice calls and texts to these numbers correspond with nights Mr. Rothwell claimed to be at client dinners or business trips. Aria stares at the evidence of Nathan's life, a life running parallel to theirs, completely separate from the grief-stricken widower he played at home. There's one more document. Chen's expression is carefully neutral. This is the original medical examiner's report, before it was altered. The report is clinical, devastating. Cause of death, hypothermia due to environmental exposure. Manner of death, accident, pending investigation. Evidence suggests child was left unattended in vehicle during a period of elevated external temperatures. Core body temperature at time of examination consistent with 60 to 90 minutes of heat exposure. Someone has written in the margin, in pen, inconsistent with father's timeline, recommend police follow-up. Below that, in different handwriting, case closed per family request, amended report filed. Mrs. Rothwell paid multiple people to make this go away, the original examiner, the responding officers, even the hospital staff who might have asked questions. She documented every payment, every person who took her money to protect her son. He closes the laptop, the folders, slides them all across the desk to Aria. This is yours now, all of it, the evidence, the documentation, the power to decide what happens next. He pauses. Mrs. Rothwell spent 3 years building this case, not for court, but for you. She wanted you to have irrefutable truth and the resources to decide what justice looks like. Why didn't she just tell me? Aria's voice cracks. Why did she let me suffer for 5 years? Chen's expression softens slightly. She told me once that she'd made a choice to protect her son, and by the time she realized what Nathan was doing to you, how he was weaponizing your grief, she was trapped by her own cover-up. Telling you would mean admitting her role in it. She was a coward, Mrs. Rothwell. She said so herself, but she tried to make it right the only way she knew how. He stands, extends his hand. You now control the Rothwell empire. 4.2 billion in assets, multiple companies, properties worldwide. You also control every piece of evidence that could destroy Nathan's reputation, if not put him in prison. Aria takes his hand, feels the weight of Diana's legacy, both the fortune and the truth, settle onto her shoulders. "What would you do?" she asks. Chen smiles, thin and sharp. "Mrs. Rothwell asked me the same question. I told her that depends entirely on what kind of woman you are." He releases her hand. "Now we all get to find out."
Aria calls a family meeting. Not a request, a summons. Nathan's brother Marcus and his sister Vanessa arrive at the Rothwell estate looking confused, cautious. They haven't seen Aria since the will reading 3 days ago. She's waiting in Diana's study, sitting in Diana's chair behind Diana's massive mahogany desk. The folders are spread in front of her like evidence at trial. "Aria, what's this about?" Vanessa starts, attempting warmth. "We've been worried about you. Nathan said you've been acting strange. Sit down." Something in Aria's voice makes them both freeze. She's never spoken to them like this. The Aria they know apologizes, defers, makes herself small. They sit. Aria opens the first folder, slides a photograph across the desk. Security footage from 5 years ago. Nathan carrying Emma to the car. "Do you know what this is?" Marcus shifts uncomfortably. Vanessa won't meet her eyes. "I'll take that as a yes." Aria's voice is ice. "How long have you known?" "Aria," Marcus starts.
How long? Vanessa flinches. Diana told us the day it happened. She needed our help with logistics, making sure the story was consistent if anyone asked questions. The day it happened. Aria repeats it slowly, letting it sink in. So at the funeral, when you hugged me and told me these things just happened, that no one could have prevented it, you knew. You knew Nathan left Emma in a hot car to fuck his mistress. We thought we were protecting you, Marcus says quickly, from additional pain. You were already devastated, and knowing the details wouldn't bring Emma back. You were protecting him. Aria cuts him off. There's a difference. She pulls out another folder, private investigator photos of Nathan with various women over the years. Did you know about these too? Vanessa looks away. That's answer enough. At the Christmas party 2 years ago, I apologized to you. Aria's voice shakes slightly, the only crack in her composure. I apologized for being sad still, for not moving on fast enough, for ruining the family photos with my grief face. And you hugged me and said, take all the time you need, while knowing Nathan killed our daughter and was cheating on me. It wasn't our place, Vanessa tries. It wasn't your place to tell me my husband murdered our child? Aria stands abruptly. It wasn't your place to tell me I was drowning in guilt for something I didn't do? Nathan is our brother, Marcus says, and there it is, the truth under everything. What did you expect us to do? Destroy him? Yes. The word is simple, final. That's exactly what I expected, because Emma was your niece, and I was your family too, and you chose him. She walks to the window, looks out at the manicured grounds that are now hers. I've been going through Diana's files. Do you want to know what I found? Decades of enabling. Nathan cheated his way through college. Diana paid off professors. He wrecked 3 cars drunk before he was 21. Diana made the charges disappear. He embezzled from the company. She covered it up and gave him a promotion. Aria turns back to face them. She created a monster, and you all fed it. The golden child who could do no wrong. And when he finally did something so wrong that even Diana couldn't stomach it, she still protected him from consequences. She loved him, Vanessa says weakly. She enabled him, and so did you, and so did I. Aria's laugh is bitter. I was so busy blaming myself that I never questioned why Nathan seemed so fine, why he moved on so easily while I was falling apart, why he never wanted to talk about Emma, why he got irritated when I cried. She sits back down, picks up one more document. Diana's letter. Your mother figured it out eventually. Took her 5 years, but she got there. She stopped protecting Nathan and started protecting me instead. Aria's eyes are hard. The question is, what are you going to do? Marcus and Vanessa exchange glances. Years of family loyalty war with the evidence in front of them, with Aria's cold fury, with the fact that she now controls everything. What do you want from us? Marcus asks finally. The truth. On record, legal depositions about what you knew and when you knew it, full statements about the cover-up. That could implicate us in... Vanessa pales. Aria, we could face charges. You could face consequences, you mean. A novel concept, I know, for Rothwells. And if we refuse? Marcus's voice hardens. He's trying to find his footing, the authority he's used to wielding. Aria smiles, and it's Diana's smile, sharp enough to cut. Then I liquidate every asset, dissolve every company, donate every penny to charity, and make sure the Rothwell name is remembered only for the family that protected a child killer. Your children will grow up explaining why their last name is synonymous with moral bankruptcy. The silence stretches. Or, Aria continues, softer now but no less dangerous, you cooperate fully, you give me everything I need, and maybe, when this is over, there's still a Rothwell empire for your children to inherit, without Nathan in it. Vanessa's hands tremble. He's still our brother, and Emma was still your niece. Aria stands, gathering her folders. You have 24 hours to decide which one of them matters more. She walks to the door, pauses with her hand on the frame, exactly like Diana used to. One more thing. At Emma's funeral, when I was sobbing so hard I couldn't stand, Nathan whispered to me, everyone's watching. Pull yourself together.
I thought he was trying to protect me from embarrassment. She looks back at them. He was protecting himself, making sure I was too broken to ask the right questions. She leaves them sitting in Diana's study, in chairs that no longer belong to their family, realizing too late that they backed the wrong Rothwell.
The legal filing arrives on a Monday. Nathan is contesting the will on grounds of undue influence and mental incapacity. He claims Diana suffered from early-onset dementia in her final years, that Aria manipulated a vulnerable elderly woman, that the entire inheritance should be voided and distributed to blood relatives. Robert Chen reads the document with his usual professional calm, but Aria can see the muscle ticking in his jaw. He's alleging you isolated Diana from her family, convinced her that her own children didn't love her, and essentially coerced her into changing her will. That's insane. Diana barely spoke to me at family gatherings. I know. We have years of documentation proving otherwise, but Nathan's lawyers are good, and they're betting on public sympathy. Chen pulls up something on his tablet. You should see this. It's a news segment. Nathan sits across from a sympathetic interviewer, looking devastated in an expensive suit that somehow seems humble. His eyes are red-rimmed. Has he been crying, or is that makeup? Mr. Rothwell, your mother's will has caused quite a controversy. Can you tell us what happened? Nathan's voice breaks perfectly. My mother built an empire from nothing. She was the strongest woman I've ever known. But in her final years, she changed. She became paranoid, withdrawn. And my wife, my ex-wife, I should say, she was always there, always in her ear. You're saying your wife manipulated your mother? I'm saying my mother wasn't herself, and when someone that vulnerable has billions of dollars, there are people who will take advantage. He pauses, wipes his eyes. I lost my daughter 5 years ago. My wife and I grieved differently. She blamed me, pushed me away. I tried to be there for her, but eventually she turned to my mother instead. And somehow, by the end, I'd lost both of them. The interviewer leans forward, voice dripping with sympathy. This must be incredibly painful, especially after losing your daughter. Emma was everything to us. Nathan's voice catches. Her death destroyed our marriage. My wife couldn't forgive me for being at work that day, for not being there. She needed someone to blame, and I became that person. Then my mother became her ally in that blame. Aria's hands curl into fists. The lies are so smooth, so practiced. She can see comments scrolling on the side of the video. Poor guy lost everything. Gold digger got what she wanted. Blood family should inherit, not some manipulative wife. He's flipped the narrative, Chen says. You're the villain. He's the victim. Another segment plays. Nathan outside the courthouse, surrounded by reporters. I'm not doing this for money. I'm doing this because my mother deserves better than to have her legacy stolen by someone who isolated her from her family. Blood is blood. That should mean something. A reporter shouts, "What about your wife's claim that you were unfaithful?" Nathan's expression is perfect, wounded but dignified. Aria has been unwell since our daughter died. She's made accusations before, seen things that weren't there. I've tried to get her help, but she refuses. I think this inheritance has made her paranoia worse. Aria feels sick. He's rewriting 5 years of psychological torture as concern, making her grief into mental illness, turning his affairs into her delusions. He's very good at this, Chen says quietly. I know. I watched him do it to me for years. I'd question something, why he came home so late, why his story didn't add up, and by the end of the conversation, I'd be apologizing for being paranoid. Another video, Nathan on a podcast, even more relaxed now, almost folksy. Look, I loved my wife. I still do in a way, but losing a child breaks people. Some people never recover. And when someone like that gets billions of dollars, it's dangerous for them and everyone around them. The host nods sympathetically. You're worried about her?
I'm terrified for her. This money, this power, it's going to destroy her, and I can't watch that happen, even after everything. The comments. He still loves her. What a good man. She doesn't deserve him. Chen closes the tablet. Public opinion is shifting in your direction. His lawyers are strategic. They're painting you as mentally unstable, which undermines your credibility if we try to release any evidence about what he did. So if I show him he killed Emma, they'll say I'm a grieving mother having delusions? Possibly. He's building a narrative where anything you say can be dismissed as trauma-induced paranoia. Aria watches Nathan's face frozen on the screen, that expression of noble suffering. She's seen it before, every time she caught him in a lie, every time she questioned his stories, the way he'd look at her with sad eyes and say, "Why would you think that about me? What have I done to make you not trust me?" Until she felt crazy for asking. He thinks he's already won, she says. He might be right. Juries are sympathetic to grieving fathers, and he's very, very good at performing grief. Chen hesitates. Mrs. Rothwell, we need to be strategic. Going nuclear with the evidence might backfire. I don't need to play by his rules anymore. Aria stands, looks out the window at the city spread below her. Diana's city. Her city now. Nathan is good at manipulating people one-on-one, at making individuals doubt themselves, but he's sloppy. He's been sloppy for years because everyone always cleaned up his messes. She turns back to Chen. He thinks he's already won. And you're not? Aria's smile is cold. I'm Diana Rothwell's heir, and she didn't leave me billions of dollars to play fair.
The meeting is set for neutral territory, a private room at the Rothwell Plaza Hotel. Nathan's lawyer thinks it's settlement negotiations, a chance to avoid ugly court battles. Nathan arrives looking confident, almost smug. He's wearing the suit Aria always said made him look distinguished. Aria, he tries for warmth, that old charm. I'm glad you agreed to meet. I think we can work this out like adults. Sit down, Nathan. Something in her voice makes his smile falter. He sits across from her at the conference table. His lawyer, a sharp-eyed man named Peterson, opens his briefcase. Mrs. Rothwell, we've prepared an offer. You can leave, Aria says to Peterson. This conversation is between me and Nathan. I don't think that's... Leave, now, or there's no conversation at all. Nathan nods to his lawyer. It's fine. Give us the room. Peterson looks uncertain but gathers his things. The door clicks shut behind him. Nathan leans back, relaxed. So, you wanted to talk settlement? I'm listening. Aria opens her laptop, turns it to face him. Watch. The security footage plays. Nathan's Mercedes, the parking lot, Emma in the car seat, Nathan walking into the hotel with Simone, the timestamp rolling forward, the sun shifting, Nathan emerging an hour later, the hug, the panic when he finally remembers his daughter. The color drains from Nathan's face. Where did you get that? Your mother preserved it before she had the hotel's copies erased. Aria's voice is perfectly calm. She kept everything, Nathan. The footage, Simone's signed statement, the original medical examiner's report, phone records, every affair you've had since Emma died, every lie you've told, everything. Nathan's hands gripped the table edge. That's not what it looks like. Really, what does it look like to you? I was only gone for a few minutes. The footage is wrong. The timestamp must be 1 hour and 17 minutes. That's how long Emma was in that car. The medical examiner's original report confirms it. Cause of death, hyperthermia due to environmental exposure. Aria slides the document across the table. Your mother paid him to change it, but she kept the original, for me.
Nathan's breathing quickens. She can see him calculating, searching for the angle that will work. Why are you doing this? Is this about the money? Because we can... This isn't about money, Nathan. This is about Emma. Then what do you want? An apology? Fine, I'm sorry. I made a mistake, a terrible mistake, but I've suffered too. You've suffered? Aria's laugh is sharp and humorless. You watched me blame myself for 5 years. You made comments designed to keep me drowning in guilt while you knew the truth. You let me apologize to you for killing our daughter when you were the one who left her in a hot car to meet your mistress. I didn't mean for it to happen. Nathan's mask cracks. It was supposed to be 20 minutes. I didn't know. You didn't know that leaving a baby in a car on a warm day could kill her? Or you didn't care because Simone was more important? Nathan stands abruptly. You self-righteous bitch. You think you're so perfect? You chose your career over Emma that day. If you'd stayed home... If I'd stayed home, Emma would still be alive, because I would never have left her in a fucking car. Nathan stands too, meets his eyes without flinching. Your mother made sure I'd know exactly what you are, not just a killer, a coward who let his wife suffer for his crime. Nathan's face twists. This is about the will. You manipulated my mother. I barely spoke to your mother at family dinners, but she watched, Nathan. She watched you blame me. She watched me apologize for existing while you played the grieving father. And she documented everything because she knew one day I'd need the truth. If you release that footage, I'll destroy you. Nathan's voice drops, becomes dangerous. I'll tell everyone you're crazy, that you doctored evidence, that you're having a breakdown. I'll make sure no one believes anything you say. You can try. Aria opens another folder, but I have 7 private investigators who will testify about your affairs. 4 women who've signed statements about your relationships with them during our marriage. Hotel records, credit card receipts, text messages. Your siblings have agreed to give depositions about the cover-up. Even Simone has agreed to come forward if necessary. Nathan sinks back into his chair. Simone signed an NDA. Your mother's dead. The NDA died with her. Simone's been living in Paris on Diana's money, and she's very interested in being released from that obligation. The silence stretches. Aria can see Nathan processing, his mind racing through scenarios, looking for escape routes. There are none. What do you want? He asks finally, voice flat. Withdraw your legal challenge today. Issue a statement saying you respect your mother's wishes and you're stepping away from the family business to pursue other interests. That's it? You're letting me walk away? Oh, I'm not done. Aria's smile is ice. You'll also sign over any claim to Emma's trust fund, any future inheritance from your siblings, and agree to never use the Rothwell name in business again. You'll leave New York. I don't care where you go, but I never want to see your face again. And if you refuse? Then I hold a press conference. I play the footage. I show the medical reports. I let the world know that Nathan Rothwell killed his daughter through negligence and let his wife take the blame for 5 years while he fucked his way through Manhattan. Nathan's jaw clenches. You've become cruel. No, I've become clear. Aria closes her laptop. You have 48 hours to comply. If you don't, every news outlet in the country gets a copy of this evidence. She walks towards the door, then pauses. You know what the worst part is? You could have told me the truth that day. You could have said, I made a terrible mistake. We could have grieved together, gotten help together. But instead, you chose to destroy me to save yourself. That's who you are, Nathan. That's who you've always been.
I loved Emma too, he says quietly. I lost her too. Aria looks back at him, and her voice is final. You lost her, you killed her, and then you made me believe it was my fault. There's no coming back from that, not ever. She opens the door. Peterson is waiting in the hallway. Your client will be withdrawing his legal challenge. You have 48 hours to file the paperwork. After that, things get very public and very ugly. She walks away, leaving Nathan sitting alone in the conference room with the weight of his own choices finally crushing down on him.
6 months later. The press conference announcing the Emma Rothwell Foundation makes headlines. Not because of the scandal. Nathan withdrew his challenge quietly, released a brief statement about respecting his mother's wishes, and disappeared to somewhere in Southeast Asia. But because of what Aria is building. $200 million dedicated to child safety advocacy and maternal mental health. Free therapy for mothers dealing with grief and trauma. Legal aid for women trapped in psychologically abusive marriages. A hotline staffed 24/7 for parents drowning in guilt who need someone to tell them it's not always your fault. Aria stands at the podium in a sharp navy suit, her voice steady. My daughter Emma died 5 years ago. For a long time, I believed I was responsible for her death. That belief nearly destroyed me. The Emma Rothwell Foundation exists to make sure no parent suffers alone with misplaced guilt, and no child suffers because of preventable negligence. She doesn't mention Nathan by name. She doesn't have to. The reporters know. The public has pieced together enough from leaked documents, from the Rothwell siblings' carefully worded statements, from Nathan's sudden exile. The family name isn't what it was. Several of Diana's business partners have quietly distanced themselves, but Aria is rebuilding it into something better. The VP position she'd lost 5 years ago? She didn't go back to that company. Instead, she took over as CEO of Rothwell Industries, the flagship of Diana's empire. The board, all men who'd worked with Diana for decades, had been skeptical until her first quarterly meeting. Now they call her the new Diana, and it's not an insult. In Dr. Morrison's office, Aria sits in the same chair she occupied for 5 years, but she sits differently now, upright, present. I keep waiting for it to feel real, she says, that it wasn't my fault. I know it intellectually. I have proof, documentation, witnesses, but 5 years of conditioning doesn't just disappear. Trauma rewires the brain, Dr. Morrison says gently. You're not just healing from Emma's death, Lau. You're healing from 5 years of psychological abuse. Sometimes I see him in my mind and I still feel small, still feel like I need to apologize. That's normal. He spent years training you to doubt yourself, to accept blame that wasn't yours. Undoing that takes time. I have time now, Aria smiles slightly, and resources, and a very good therapist. The cemetery is quiet on a Tuesday afternoon. Aria comes alone, carrying white lilies, Emma's favorite, the ones that matched her baby blanket. The headstone is simple, elegant. Emma Grace Rothwell, beloved daughter, forever in our hearts. Aria kneels, arranges the flowers carefully. For 5 years, visiting this grave meant drowning in guilt, whispering apologies, begging forgiveness for a sin she didn't commit. Today is different. Hi, baby girl. Her voice is soft but steady. I brought your flowers. The spring breeze rustles through the trees. Aria traces Emma's name carved in marble. I'm so sorry I couldn't protect you from him. I trusted him to keep you safe, and he failed you in the worst possible way. The words catch, but she pushes through. But I promise you, sweetheart, he'll never hurt anyone else the way he hurt us. I made sure of it. She sits back on her heels, looks at the small photograph embedded in the stone. Emma at 8 months, all dimples and joy. I'm doing something good with Grandma Diana's money,
something that would make you proud, helping other kids, other moms, making sure what happened to you saves other people. Aria wipes her eyes. I wish you were here to see it. I wish you were here for so many things. The guilt that usually accompanies that wish, the crushing weight of if only, is lighter now. Not gone, maybe it never will be completely gone, but it no longer suffocates her. I'm going back to work after this, Aria continues, talking to her daughter the way she used to when Emma was alive. Big meeting about opening new centers in 3 more cities. Your daddy used to make me feel guilty about working, but you know what? You would have been proud of your mama. I was good at my job. I am good at my job. She touches the headstone, feels the sun-warmed marble under her palm. I love you, Emma. I will always love you, and I will spend the rest of my life making sure your death meant something. Aria stands, brushes off her knees. For 5 years, visiting this grave meant drowning in abandonment. Today, it's different. She carries Emma with her, not as guilt, but as purpose. As she walks back to her car, she thinks about Diana's letter, about that cryptic phrase in the will, not until you become a man. Nathan will never become a man. Real men protect their children. Real men face their failures. Real men don't destroy the people they claim to love to save themselves. Diana gave Aria everything, the billions, the empire, the evidence. But more than that, she gave her justice. Not the kind that comes from courts and prisons, but the kind that comes from truth, power, and the freedom to finally stop apologizing for being alive. Aria gets in her car, Diana's car, her car now, and drives towards the foundation offices, towards the meeting that will help more families, towards the life she's building from the ashes of the one Nathan burned down. She's not healed, not completely. Maybe she never will be, but she's free, and that's enough.
Thank you for watching this story to the end. If you enjoyed this story, you will surely love the others we have on our channel. They are as crazier and more intriguing as you can ever imagine, so do check it out. We love you.